and he won't be able to take out target. So they are not. They're gonna go for.
Wow.
Is that? It's still Rome.
Rome Angela,
It's still
Jungle
Rome Angela.
X-Borg. Okay. So it's the old Angela X-Borg combo, but this time it's the Rome. Could be tough here for Falcons AP Bren.
That's a very hit or miss lineup that we are seeing right here from Falcons AP Bren.
Incredibly so.
And
That's how mid lane Cecilion.
That's a mid lane Cecilion, 100%. Half expecting Super Friends to actually use the Matilda here.
Yeah.
But no.
It goes into the hands of Brusco. They go for the Cecilion, who has been racking up a lot of, not just in the gold lane, hi Skylar, RRQ. He is still a great mid lane pickup, and let's see if it'll be enough. Both farm-based.
Pretty hefty lineup for gold and mid. I think they can do it. Seems doable here. Now let's see if our casters, Leoning, also think the same way. Throw it over. FCAP, FNOP, game 2.
Let's go! Game 2 is at hand. Best of 3 match point for Fnatic Onic Philippines and Ingan.
Woo!
Is this the right time to bring out the Cecilion? It's another debut pick.
I mean, they have the luxury of doing it. They've secured a playoff spot, might even secure the first seed. So it's time to experiment. But this isn't that much of a cheese because Redmar and Rockhart has mentioned that this has been used a lot in the different regions. And even flex the roles, not just the mid lane. I believe this was used also at the gold lane a lot of times, even in ranked games.
But here's the thing. I would be okay if that was just the only off thing about this draft. I'm gonna use the word off in a very liberal way, because you also have King Kong on the alpha now. Prior, this same very matchup, the alpha was rocked by Kirk in the XP
with a revitalize
to stick it up to Flap, to stick it up to the Phobius. But now that it's kind of switched up, I don't know if that's what irks me about this. It's not the Cecilion pick alone.
Yeah.
It's the fact that it's comboed with a few other factors that don't support Fnatic Onyx's winning image. Unless again, just as how versatile they are, as how flexible they are, the way they play is just that deep too.
Honestly, for me, I think it's the fatigue for Cyric, for King Kong, but King Kong enters. And the save coming in from Brusco with the guiding win. I think it's the fatigue. Didn't you see his Fanny play a while
For sure.
Man, you could feel his fingers hurting with all the cables, all the cutthroats he performed. He hasn't died a single time, but did dish out a lot of damage, dish out a lot of kills. Maybe he wants to relax for game number 2, but still has a viable option.
What are you saying about me and my alpha mains?
It's an easier compared to a Fanny, but look at this, a catch onto Flap, forcing out his flicker. And the aggression of Fnatic clearly hasn't stopped. Their rotation might actually be better and faster compared to Game 1 with the presence of Brusco's Matilda.
I mean, they are still waiting for the hard guard in the Ghost Flap.
And Kirk with the Primal Wrath as well, trying to dish out the damage onto Flap. While Flap TZ manages to rock the Infernal Pursuit. And King Kong with the Retribution manages to get the first turtle. Flap TZ in trouble here. She tries to walk away, will survive. But Fnatic gets a turtle.
Very early game centric. I think they do need this. They need this late game insurance, and they also need, well, we need the 76th unique hero pick in MPL Philippines Season 14. That's what now? 65% of the heroes?
Wait, 65?
Yeah, that's about...
Do we have 118 or 120?
120. We've already broken 120.
Yeah, especially with Suyo.
Suyu.
How do you pronounce it? Suyo.
Suyu. He's coming out of the playoffs, but regardless.
The Sanguine Claws AoE as well. And here comes the over-aggression of Fnatic. Paired up with the Matilda, they can outmaneuver Falcons AP Bren.
Oh no!
King
Kyle's
Kong.
going down! For all those who missed out on when Cecilion was a thing, that just breaks the game in half. Like, you can't even touch, usually, the Cecilion player.
Yeah, so right now Super Friends has the luxury of doing that. As we speak, just working on Kyle TZ. Another chain crowd control might be able to bring him down. Just look at the damage coming in from Fnatic Onic as he tried to work on Flap TZ with an Infernal Pursuit despite the Heart Guard 4 there. And here comes Kelra with the Blazing Duet, gonna finish the job and bring down Ogwen. Just total dominance for Fnatic, and they're not even done!
Oh! That's gotta be frustrating. Again, usually, you see a Phobius dunking on fools. He usually would just be, you know, his life would be coming back there. I foresaw this happening. Because again, there's a good amount of sustain on FCAP, right?
Yeah.
And there's a good amount of dive coming in from them. It's a good quality dive.
Dealing enough damage.
That's the nature of the beast. Sure, items will come into play, but the mechanic, Kirk, no one home.
Kirk missed flicker there, but a perfect opportunity for Falcons AP Bren to counterattack as Fnatic Onic will get another turret. Just looking at the sustain of Fnatic Onic, they're not even afraid to go up against 5 members of Falcons AP Bren this deep.
They're not afraid. All right, so you were talking about Bat's impact, right? Every cast within a timer, Super Prince, he eats more mana, henceforth deals more damage. That's why. It'll just eventually eat into his mana, you just keep chunking away until he doesn't have any more. But I would reckon, since he's been hitting people with skills and getting away with so much, he can afford it.
Look at King Kong just literally leading the charge with the Spear of Alpha. Again, he's really activated because of the presence of Brusco with his Matilda. A guiding wind can ensure safety for King Kong without suffering any casualties. And here comes the Sackwind's Claws once again, catching Ogwin along with the Bat's impact, forcing Flaptisi as well to walk away. Super Marco has to recall because the push might ensue for Fnatic.
Breaking news. After everything FNOP has done, FCAP gets their first turret push. That's where Marco came from.
And just look at this. 4 members of Fnatic zoning out the members of Falcons AP Bren.
Whoa.
As King Kong works on the lure. There was an attempt there to steal the lure. He's not going to cast that Spear of Destruction as King Kong with an uncontested, literally alone in his own island to deal with that lord.
They are in a whole different economic bracket. They paid a different kind of tax.
Since game 1. Actually, since week 1, you could argue.
The Bees don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
This was a chance for FCAP to get one over FNOP, but this might even be worse than the first time they met. That was a 3-game series. We're looking at a potential sweep.
Potential sweep might happen here as Fnatic Onic charges in the middle lane trying to burst down this inhibitor turret, and they will do it successfully. They still have the Lord as King Kong works on the top lane and Keller and Kirk onto the bottom lane. Super Prince not afraid to zone out the members with the Bat's impact. Again, they're going to burst down the inhibitor down bottom. It's just the inhibitor up top remaining for Falcons AP Bren.
It's so tough for FCAP.
Wow! The chain CC from Fnatic is just too much. Last Insanity has to be used here to clear out the minions. Circling Eagle and Keller goes in with a blazing duet. Might be able to bring down Kalsizi here. Pops his immortality. Looking at King Kong, gonna get a mega kill as they take the game. The series 12-0 last week, 13-0 today.
Fnatic Onic Philippines puts a period on that question.